So we are back, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that we're a little bit snowed in here today. Gives me an opportunity to get a little bit more gaming time in, so I won't say no to that. And revisiting this campaign, our strategic situation has definitely improved since the last episode. And really, I have thought about this a little bit more. I have not changed my mind. I think the thing that we need to do from our #1 strategic priority is to knock Labaris out permanently. This is just too much of an annoyance to have our Eastern Front under threat, even if it's only from time to time. And since Krokgar's not handling it for us, then we'll have to do it ourselves. So we're going to rush down here and take Resetra. I don't think they've got much of an army now to stop us, if I remember correctly. They're quite a bit weaker now. So even if they get an army in the way, let's see how strong their defenses are. 14. Obviously, we can take this as long as we get Thorek's army involved. If they get another army in there to help defend it, then I think we'd still be able to overpower them, so I'm not too worried about that. May as well move as far as here to get our... to be able to maintain a little bit of replenishment. Not that we need a ton, but the little bit of extra movement that we would get, I don't think is worth losing the extra replenishment. Now, here's the thing. So Tekton, his army's a little bit more beat up, and on top of that, we do actually need to decide whether we want to keep all these units. I think I will for now. There's no point in decommissioning these units if I might need them. I think it's worth paying their upkeep for another turn or two until we know that we can be a little bit more comfortable about getting rid of them. I will just say this. These are the Slayers and the Regiments of Renown are not really the optimal use for, they're not the optimal units for us. And they are probably not really worth the upkeep in the long run, but since we've already got them, we might as well use them. And we should decide here. Okay, so thematically, what type of army do we want Tekton here to have? I don't think the Lords get any special bonuses for any particular type of unit. So really the world is our oyster. We have complete flexibility when it comes to that. So obviously there's the general, you know, the standard Axe Lord for miners, warriors, and longbeards, which almost every Dwarven Lord can use. And since we're still kind of in the early game, we're definitely going to probably be building more of these units. So way too soon to start focusing, I think, on things like the really high-tier units. So we could go ahead and give him Axe Lord. We could also do the same thing with him as we're doing with Thorek and try to beef up the Quarrelers. But since we are already doing that with Thorek's army, maybe we can continue to have the two armies sort of side by side and have a little bit more in the way of frontline troops, melee troops with Tekton, and a little bit more in the way of missile troops with Quarrelers with Thorek. So that's a possibility. And then, of course, we have the other possibility of we just focus on his own personal fighting abilities. But I think we've reached the point where we really probably do want a second army running around. So let's go ahead and give him Axe Lord. This gives us all the way up now to +6 attack and defense for our melee infantry, which is pretty good. And in terms of, is there any value in giving him, I guess there's no reason not to, but we'll give him that talisman. He's already got some runes. There's not... We can give him Brewmaster here. I guess there's no reason not to do that. Okay. Alright, so, however, we are going to leave him in Granite Massif for over this next end turn for the little bit of extra replenishment that he'll get. I feel like I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to reach Resetra with Thorek next turn. So we'll find out if I'm wrong about that, but I kind of feel like we should be able to. And then meanwhile, we have enough money now to be able to do a little bit more in terms of settlement upgrading. Now, we have our public order very slowly is going to come back positive, although once it goes above -50, it's going to drop down a little bit. So public order is still a concern down here, but there's not really a whole lot we can do down here unless we're going to destroy one of these other buildings, which I am loath to do right now. So maybe an economic building here to jump us from 200 to 300 per turn. I think that's probably worth doing. Let's go ahead and do that, and that leaves us a little bit more money to do something over here. Now Marek, maybe we go ahead and go back to building the defensive structure here, the garrison. He's doing okay from a public order standpoint, but that's largely because we have armies in this province right now. But I do, and building up this economic building in Marek is a low priority because he is an unpleasant climate for us, which means he's getting a reduction here of how much? -15% on his income buildings. I think we're going to go with the garrison. It's just a little bit of peace of mind. And we're not going to build any new units. We will go ahead and take a look at diplomacy. Good old Krokgar, he's still only at war with Labaris. Okay, so that means he and the Skaven are now through with their war. I wonder if he wiped out the Skaven. Okay, we got the City of Dawn. How much would they give us? 588. Absolutely not worth it. And nothing really else to do, so let's go ahead. We do want to take this, obviously, sooner rather than later, because it's got another artifact piece for us. Okay, I think that's probably about all we can do for now, so let's go ahead and see how they react over the end turn, see if Labaris has another army floating about. They do somewhere, but whether they would actually try to defend Resetra is the question. Well, they've decided to muster up a new army with the new lord there. That's fine with me. That'll be a little bit more money for us when we end up capturing it. I could raise Resetra. That's always a possibility. Could just sack it. No, we love Angry Gods. We're happy with that because that gives us extra growth and saves us money. Okay, let's... ooh, interesting. So Scarbrand is now at war with Nagash as well. Okay, so here's a question. Did I miscalculate? I did not. We can reach. We are going to encircle. We are going to bring Tecton down. I wonder, can he reach with a... No, that's not good enough. So we will fast march him down. I'm not going to worry about his heroes for the time being. Let's go ahead and fight this battle. Decisive victory again. You all know the routine. We could obviously auto-resolve it, but I'm not going to do that because for anybody who is brand new to this series and hasn't seen the previous episodes, I find that I get bored with the game much quicker if I am auto-resolving battles. So, and since battles are probably my favorite part of the game, I just basically fight them all unless there's just absolutely like astonishing, ridiculous odds, either for or against, where there's clearly no reason to waste anybody's time by fighting it. Okay, so And then also, for the new folks, if you haven't heard me say this before, when I fight battles, I fight them. Let's go ahead and get all of our unwounded guys up front. I don't think this is going to be a difficult fight. The guys who have already taken some damage, we're going to hold them back. Now, it could be that he'll summon some Bishabti back here, which maybe will bring these guys in as sort of reserves if that happens. We're going to go ahead and get our Quarrelers. Obviously, we're not going to stay in this formation. You're wounded, so we'll get you back here. The guys who are unwounded, get you up front. Get you where you can flank. Now, let's flank on this side. Okay, let's go ahead and start the battle. All of you guys start to move forward, thin out your line. You guys go ahead and just get behind them. We'll have to figure out what they're going to do there with those archer chariots. So yeah, when I fight, I don't use exploits. I don't try to pull off half of their army by running units around them or whatever. Not that dwarves are particularly good at doing that. But I just kind of like fighting battles the good old-fashioned way. Front line, back line behind them, usually ranged units, sometimes artillery, sometimes magic units. Let battles play out in what I think of as a more realistic fashion, rather than just abusing the AI. Let's go ahead and speed this up. They're not coming towards us yet. I guess I probably could have gotten could have picked my target. Although those archers were a fine target, I'm perfectly okay with him hitting them. Now let's go ahead and see our runesmith. He's a little bit damaged. Oh, I thought I moved... Oh, I forgot to move Thorek. Let's go ahead and get our Thane over on this side. And Thorek up front. You guys are probably going to end up going at those chariots, but let's go ahead and get the Quarrelers on them as well. That's really the only unit that I feel at all... Excuse me. Those two units are the only ones that I feel at all concerned about. Thorek will go in directly against their general when we get the opportunity to. Let's see if they are going to let us hit them. Probably not. Just keep on them. Turn as needed to hit them. You guys aren't going to need to. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure we get these things going. Let's go ahead and cast this right here. Should be able to do some damage to them. Let's get you turned a little bit. You turned a little bit. Let's get the Thane going on... No, he doesn't need to go there. He'll go there. You guys go ahead and start to flank around. You're not going to be needed against the chariots. You guys go ahead and get in there. You guys go ahead and get in there. We can go ahead and bust up our lines a little bit, make our lines kind of messy since it's devolving into a bigger scrum now. Those chariots should be short. Oh! That's not... Kind of missed these guys getting summoned. I even knew it was going to happen. That's okay. Our grudge throwers are fine. Let's go ahead and get an explosion on them. Let's go ahead and get a few buffs going. I think we're doing just fine here. The Shabti are they're crumbling already, so that's good. Oops, I was clicked on the wrong grudge thrower. We were taking some damage after all. Forgot about Tekton's army. That's okay. this fight is not going to last a whole heck of a lot longer. Go ahead and hit them. You guys, for what it's worth, go ahead and move in that direction. You guys now go ahead and hit them. I think everybody's got a target to hit.
Yes, yes.
Do you not?
Yes, move to attack. It is a reckoning.
Okay.
Make your targets well. High as you
All right, they're all crumbling. That's that. I took a little bit of casualties, 33 losses. I don't think that's anything worth getting too upset about. Lost probably the equivalent of one grudge thrower unit model, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. Unless we are going to get a whole lot more money out of sacking than what I think we will, then I'm not going to sack it. I'm just going to take it and use it as a staging area for the attack on the rest of Labaris. Nothing like a sip of warm coffee on a cold winter morning. Okay, yeah, terrible money from that, even with their lord. Dwarves just do not get much money from battles. Okay. Yeah, it's actually more money than I thought we would get, but it's still not enough to convince me to sack it. Now, let's sort of reassess here. We got 3 ranks. That's good. So Krokgar, I don't see him having any armies up in this area right now. So it's pretty much going to all be up to us. We'll get some nice replenishment here over the end turn. Now, because we have the reduced replenishment mod, we are getting much less replenishment than usual. And we can really see the effect right here, even though we're inside Resetra. We're inside the settlement building. We're still only getting 1 troop per turn here. So let that be a lesson to me to not to pay more attention and not let my grudge throwers get attacked by Ushabti moving forward, because that's probably going to happen in every battle. Alright, so thematically I think we want to continue to develop Thorek's main line of powers here. So let's do that. May be a little bit suboptimal, but I don't think it's going to harm us too much. The Thane here, we want to continue to make him a little bit of a beefier combatant. And then our Runesmith. I think we're already at the max on sharpened weapons. We are. I generally prefer this to harden armor, although yeah, because I like being able to dish out damage as the dwarves. That seems to be a weakness of theirs, and obviously defenses are really not a weakness. But if anybody feels strongly that I'm making a mistake, I'd be curious to hear about it in the comments. So please feel free to make a comment on that or anything else if you would like to. So we've already maximized we've got all of his different runic abilities here. I could obviously make some of them stronger, and I'm tempted to go with the upgrade to the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. But I think maybe I'll go with the Rune of Grimnir and go a little bit more defense right now on him. Looks like we picked up a new ancillary here. Where is it? I don't see it. I guess he automatically got assigned. So if I look here... Ah, there we go. A Dwarf Bride. Great. Yeah. Dwarf Brides are good. Not so much when I'm not in my own territory, but, well, I'm in my own territory, but this is not a money-making region by any means. Let's go ahead and sell this, because obviously this is not a good place for this building anyway, but also because I'm thinking I will probably end up selling this settlement over to Krokar after I get these taken care of. Okay, so don't really have a whole lot else to do. I guess I can move Tecton a little bit in that direction. He may be the vanguard moving forward. I don't know. We'll play that by ear. He's... Wait a minute, why? So our replenishment is reduced by local effects. And casualty replenishment rate minus 4% because of the unpleasant climate. That makes sense. Okay, so that's... It's not just the realistic replenishment mod, it is also the unpleasant climate that is reducing the amount of replenishment we get there. That's fine. That's no big deal. We can live with that. We got enough money to do something else. The question is what? I think probably what we want to do is save up our money to be able to... We need 4,500 to be able to get the dwarf keep here. That... Well, anyway, it's fine. It's going to take us a little while to get there, but I'm not going to start disbanding our units just yet. Okay, before I hit intern, I'm just going to refresh my memory here on the objectives. We're about halfway through growing our forces. Capture many provinces. It won't be too much longer before we have that. Recruit an additional lord. We could always start to consider fighting some of our quest battles. It's going to be a long time before we get the mightiest fortress. Heralds of Corn, we could raid... Actually, you know, we could very easily raid Death Gorge here sooner rather than later. It's only 30 oath gold, though. It's absolutely not a priority. And same thing with Nehikaran dynasties. I'm sorry, with... That is, I presume, Labaris, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, so we could raid Labaris and get that. Again, it's only a little bit of money, a little bit of oath gold. Alright, let's go ahead and just check our options diplomatically once more. I still kind of am hoping that we can eventually get a trade agreement going with Krokgar here, but no dice as of yet. Let's go ahead and, before I hit in turn, I just want to think about this for a second. Okay, I don't think there's anything really to think about, so let's do it. Okay, so nothing too special from our neighbors here. Okay. No sooner do I say that, and one of our neighbor wants to throw some money at us for a non-aggression pact. No, if I wanted a non-aggression pact, I would have gotten more money from you over the last turn. I don't blame him for offering it, though, because he's got to worry that he'll be next after we deal with Labaris, and he might very well be right. Okay, so... Come from toolmakers. That'll be nice. Helps our... We can already see our money situation's getting a little bit better. Okay, so now we have... this is Teclis against the Bowmen. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. I didn't know that they were rivals. And then we have Scarbrand at war with... this is Malagar, right? Malagor. And we got a couple of econ buildings up, and we have destroyed our siege workshop. So We still don't have enough money this turn to be able to upgrade Granite Massif, unfortunately, but not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and start moving. Don't really want to sacrifice all replenishment, so... But man, we really... This is the campaign movement mod. We're looking at multiple turns just to be able to get over here with Doomglade, which I love. Definitely changes the pacing of the campaign, but it does force us to really make sacrifices. We have to accept trade-offs here, and we can get further, we can get there sooner but lose replenishment, or we can replenish on the way knowing with confidence that they're probably not going to be able to do a whole lot to stop us, even if we give them a little bit of extra time. Let's just see, they're at 99, we're at 65. Let's do this first of all. Let me take my Thane. Let's send him ahead. Okay, now we know where his army is, which is quite good to know. His army has a couple Lich Priests and level 16. Okay, so obviously Khalida is back. I don't see her here, but yes. Okay, so she's, I won't exactly say she's formidable, but we need to at least take her seriously. So let's go ahead and... How far can she reach? That's as far as she can reach even in March stance. So there's no reason for us to try to lay an ambush here because she's not going to be able to reach us. So we're safe from attack this turn. Let's go ahead and...
We push onward.
Let's go ahead and move out to here.
Go!
That's the extent of how far we can get and still maintain... Well, never mind. Look at that. We get no replenishment at all. Well, okay. That's not true. Our runesmith actually gets a little bit of replenishment, but there's no point in even worrying about that. Now we have him...
It's like a furnace.
We can't get far enough to do any raiding this turn, so we're not going to be able to satisfy this Dead Rick grudge. Let me just make sure here. If we move in, nothing is going to change except for losing that little bit of replenishment, right?
Ready?
Yeah, okay. I think that's what we're going to do then. We might as well go as far as we can. I should say she is not going to attack us because she would be stupid to, although she does have these Caskets of Souls, which are... And she's got some decent rank units, but still, they're not as strong as our dwarves. I don't think we need to worry about them attacking us. Let's go ahead and move him out of the way so we can move as close to her settlement as possible. Let's go ahead and bring him back into the army. And we're still out of range of the settlement, so if she did attack us somehow, like had an army in ambush stance or something that we can't see, that settlement will not be able to come out and help. These guys will go ahead and move you. You're not replenishing anyway, so we'll move you to within reinforcement range. I don't love walking around with depleted armies, but it is what I signed up for with the realistic replenishment mod, so there's no sense in complaining about it now. Or not complaining about it, but worrying about it. Nothing to do here. We want to save up for this. Can't do anything about that. We do actually need to question whether she might try to bypass our armies entirely and attack behind us. I don't think she can get to Marek before before the garrison is built. If she were to attack Granite Massif, we could always build an emergency army here to defend against it, and I think we'd have a reasonably good chance of succeeding. Although level 16 plus 2 Lich Priests, that's a formidable army. She's not going to be able to get past us so far that we couldn't get back and put ourselves between her and our settlements if we choose to. So we'll have a little bit of strategic flexibility. Let's go ahead and just wait. Let's say the ball's in her court, and we'll find out what she wants to do. We're going to obviously choose a new research here. I think maybe the extra 10 growth. No, we need the money first more than the growth. I think we're already sitting on extra growth that we can't afford to use up right now. Check to see if we have any diplomatic options available. Other than with the City of Dawn, which we've pretty much already decided not to do anything about. Okay. Let's see what she does. I think she's the first of our neighbors to actually go. Ah, no, Krokars. Pretty soon we'll have to start worrying about clan wars, and they are stronger than us. Okay. This is an interesting decision. There's our second army. That second army does not worry me. Do we feel good about our prospects of defeating both the settlement garrison plus Khalida's army? I think the answer to that is yes. We feel okay with it, but
No honest work without sweat.
we'll give this a little bit of a think. Oh, and we've discovered the Blue Vipers tribe. So this is, incidentally, this is why I went ahead and decided possibly against my better judgment, decided to make peace with Skarbrand, because we're so slow that moving this far into enemy territory here on the Eastern Front obviously precludes us from being able to get back in time to do any defending over here. And we really, really want to avoid two front wars as much as possible. I think that's sort of a truism with any strategic game, let alone any Total War faction. Alright, so let's go ahead and see. First of all, we can reach the settlement, so that's good. I think we want to go ahead and do that. Let's just take a look at how strong these guys are. They can actually move far enough that if we don't attack them this turn, they can get down here and reinforce for a 2-army plus settlement garrison attack on our units. So if we come down here and lay siege, we're basically committing to the attack. But I think I'm okay with that. I think I am.
For the ancestors.
It's a good sign that auto-resolve at least believes that we have the advantage.
For Karakazol.
And that's even before we bring in Tekton. Let's get him to here. Can he? He can. If anyone knows the answer to this, also, please feel free to leave a comment. But I'm assuming that when we're in camp stance, this +5 leadership, +5 melee defense also applies for an offensive battle that they are moving in as a reinforcing army into. Okay, so again, another action-packed episode. We're getting two really fairly important battles in right away, which is always good. Don't think there's really much for us to worry about before we do this. Really quick glance at this, really quick glance at this. Okay, nothing really to do in preparation. Let's launch the attack. Decisive victory. I just want to take a look here at the terrain. It's nice now that you can, in this game, that you can scout the terrain ahead of time. Okay, pretty much a wide open battle. hopefully, I mean, there are hills here. We can see elevation differences. They actually are going to have the artillery advantage over us, so gotta think a little bit about how we want to handle that. I think we want to start out farther back so that we can get our reinforcing army in, and then if they want to turn it into an artillery battle, we'll at least be on almost even odds between our two grudge throwers and their caskets of souls. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah. We may want to maybe send our fastest units, which would be our slayers, which we're probably going to not mind losing. We may want to send them in a suicidal assault on their artillery pieces. In fact, I kind of like that idea because I think thematically that's the sort of thing that slayers would absolutely go for. It's sort of their shtick. Yeah, as figured, we're always at the disadvantage when it comes to the terrain. And when I say always, I don't actually mean always. I just like to grumble about it, but why not? I am a dwarf. That's kind of our shtick. Alright, so let's... This time we can't really afford to leave our somewhat wounded units back in... leave them out of the fight. Let's go ahead and get you guys sort of all together. I don't want to leave my runesmith in particular out on an island and get him in trouble like I did before. Alright, in terms of how this battle begins, we cannot reach them with our artillery. We cannot see their artillery. Unless... Yeah, so I think I should have double-checked the numbers, but I'm assuming their artillery is the same range as ours. We will find out very soon. It's going to be 2.5 minutes before our reinforcements come in. This is their artillery. How far can they reach? They can absolutely hit us. Okay. Well, let's spread out a little bit here. Not really a ton we can do because I don't want to run my dwarves slowly backwards. Ah, that's painful. Okay, you know what? Maybe I do want to move my dwarves backwards here. Yeah, it's going to take them. That's going to take a toll on us if we just let them continue to pound us with those caskets of souls. I don't ever want to underestimate just how destructive those things are. And how far can they reach? How soon before we're out of their range? Pretty soon. Okay. We're now out of their range for now. They'll probably move forward. Let's go ahead and speed things up. Let's see if they move forward to continue to blow us up. How are we looking here? We got 52 seconds. Speed things up here a little bit until I start to see more hell raining down from the skies. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, reinforcements here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get you three moving up that way. Let's go ahead and get all of our frontline troops. Not you. But everybody but those Ekrand miners and the Ironbreakers. All of you, let's form you up in one nice big line here. But we're going to have you walk. Let's go ahead and give you a controlled group. We don't want... You know what? Stop. Stop walking. Actually, I don't want you to be in range just yet. I want those slayers to present themselves as targets first. Then, for now, just for ease of controlling the large army now, we're gonna put everybody into different controlled groups. Let's go ahead and get catapults together. Our slayers, let's go ahead and get you 3 into, you can be my 6. And you 2, why are you not part of 3? Or no, you are a part of 3. I don't want you to be a part of 3. You and you, I want you to be 7 for now. Okay, so how are our slayers doing? Getting there, getting there. Okay, let's speed things up. I'm expecting the caskets of souls to start shooting at them. They are. Okay, that's what we want. You guys, this is exactly the kind of thing that you want, right? Let's run you into the trees, and maybe that'll help protect you a little bit. And let's also kind of spread you out as much as possible. Now we can get our warriors moving. Not our warriors, our front line. We can move them forward. Let's get our quarrelers behind them. Also walking. Let's go ahead and get our heroes up here. You walking for now. We'll go ahead and get you over on this flank. And you over on this flank. And as long as they keep shooting at the slayers, then that's what we want. But if they start to change their targets to the other units, then we're gonna start running our other units. And that's exactly what they've done. Okay, everybody run. Everybody go full speed now. Our slayers, just keep you going up here where your nice targets. Don't mind losing them. I really don't. I'm not just telling myself that to feel better. How? Ooh, we can get our artillery into the action here. Let's go ahead and... I'm not going to be able to punch through their front line and get to those caskets of souls, so we're going to see about maybe trying to engage those guys over there. Okay, our front line is not going to have to move quite as far as I intended. Same thing for our quarrelers, you guys, just like that. I didn't realize you were coming from all the way over on this side. We'll go ahead and get you over here now too. You're pretty much fine. Okay, let's go ahead and have our artillery start to hit their archers. Okay, you guys now, their cavalry decided not to engage with us, which is not a surprise. Okay, let's get Thorek on his lord. You as well. Let's get an explosion here, a Wrath and Ruin right here. Let's get you shooting there. Let's get you shooting there. Let's get you guys in there. Let's get you shooting here. You guys took an awful lot of damage there. You guys pull back. Okay, we want every guy who is our strongest on Khalida. Let's go ahead and see what we can do to her. Okay. How are we doing here? Get on them. Yeah, see, my micro is not great. I'm definitely not a super effective player when it comes to micro. Let's go ahead. Oh, hello. Let's pull you back a little bit and you like this. How are we doing? How are our Slayers doing over here? Not anything to speak of just yet. Okay, the enemy lord is wounded. Is that Khalida? No, that's Khalida right there. Okay, so let's get Thorek on Khalida. Let's go ahead and blast there. That's a nice one.
Thorek Ironbrow.
Okay, the Ashabti. You guys on the Ashabti, please. You guys just kind of try to get out of there. You guys are going to have a fighting a losing battle there, that's for sure. Let's keep going on Khalida. If we can get rid of her, we'll be doing okay. You guys get up here. You guys get in there. You guys as well. You guys turn this way now. Okay, we can start just going as fast as we can now because I think we're... In fact, if we can pull them out and get them around on the Caskets of Souls, that would be one that wins. Those Caskets of Souls are just about done with all of their ammo. Okay, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Those chariots are still alive, but I assume they can still outrun our Slayers. Let's go ahead and be hitting them, I suppose. Alright, Slayers. How are we doing over here? We're kind of losing over on this flank, so we gotta... We still have not taken... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. My bad. We want him to please take out Khalida. There we go. Excellent. I need to give these time to cast. There we go. There we go. And there we go. You guys go ahead and do a nice Rune of Wrath and Ruin there. Okay, everybody here, wipe them out, please. You guys at the Lich Priests. Let's get all of our Quarrelers over on this side, shooting at those Spearmen over there, because we don't really want to lose that unit if we don't have to. I think they're all about to crumble now. Yeah, it's... Okay, alright. That was, a little bit of a trickier battle. Let's see what units we lost. I think we may have lost some Slayers. We didn't lose any of Thorek's army, so that's good. That's real good. However, we do know that we're going to pay the price in terms of how long it's going to take to replenish all of these casualties that we lost. Which, again, is what we wanted. It's more realistic this way. It really ought to take, from a realistic standpoint, it really ought to take a long time to replenish really, really badly wounded units this far away from home territory. Particularly when you're talking about dwarves who are a long-lived but not quickly reproducing race, who probably go through tons and tons of training and arms supply in order to produce these types of high-quality troops. Okay, we lost one Slayer unit. That's almost perfect. You know, that's honestly about as nice of a result as we could have hoped for. Let's go ahead and occupy this one as well. Labaris now only has this one army that we really don't even have to worry about very much. Pyrrhic victory, maybe so, but I don't feel badly about that Pyrrhic victory at all, which kind of means it's not really a Pyrrhic victory.
Ironbrow.
Let's go ahead and apply our skills. I may not do Mentor anytime soon. That's not really a skill that I care a whole lot about. This would improve our Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, which is a good one, and these are actually also definitely skills that we want to have as soon as we can. So that's a good choice for us.
Thorek.
Let's go ahead and get... I can hinder replenishment, but I can't boost replenishment. Do we want any of these? Speed is not a bad thing, but I think for now I want to improve the... I think this will reduce the cooldown, yeah. We want to reduce the cooldown on the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. In fact, we have 2 points to spend, so we'll go ahead and take that. Here we want to continue to beef him up. Let's give him Deadly Blade. That'll give him a nice higher melee. Oh, he's got 2 points as well. So we've maximized our melee attack. That's a good looking number right there for a melee combatant. And then our Lord, let's go ahead and give him Rune of Grimnir, one of my favorites. And in terms of his movement now, we want him to be close enough where he can be reinforced. Not that I think we would lose a battle right there. In fact, we almost certainly wouldn't. But we are pretty badly beaten up, and do we get a replenishment increase? No, it just enables oh, obviously we're not replenishing anywhere except for our Lord himself. So replenishment is not really a concern, but I do want to just kind of leave him there within reinforcement range of the settlement. Resetra is kind of a sitting duck right now, so it's extremely possible that she will bypass us and move straight toward Resetra. And if she does, we may let her take it, or we may try to jump back and block her. We'll think about that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But what I'm kind of thinking is if she makes a move towards Resetra, that might be a good time for us to just go ahead and sell this settlement to Krokkar, because we could risk the trespassing to get back to our territory, or we always have the option we might be able to cross this mountain range using the underway stance. Not sure, because the underway stance, just like every other stance, is going to have reduced movement capacity. And then the other thing is we might want to just go ahead and declare war up here on Silver Dawn, the City of Dawn, excuse me, and after we knock out Labaris, just go on up here and knock them out and take Lamia. So, got multiple options. We are going to go ahead and sell this, however, for now. We won't sell this just yet, but we will before we hand the settlement over. I think all we're going to have time for here is one more end turn, so let me just go ahead and do what we have wanted to do with upgrading Granite Massif. We are being told that we have another upgrade, but we obviously don't want to do that. Do we have any upgrades available over here? We do not. Let's check our diplomacy. We're at 63. Labaris is at 72. Well, I think they're lower than 72. That number hasn't changed, but we can see with the bar there that their faction strength has gone down, and nothing else to do. Let's see how they react over the end turn, and then we're probably going to have to call it an episode. But it's been a productive one. I feel good about taking two of Labaris' settlements and knocking Khalida out. Remember, we've got the Longer Lord wound timer, so that'll be 10 turns before she comes back from being defeated, and I suspect her faction will be wiped out before that happens. And she shied away from trying to get past us. So yeah, if only we could replenish a little bit, I would feel better about this, because Labaris is going to be a tougher nut to crack than her other 2 settlements. But I don't think we have to worry about being stopped at this point. Now that's a concern. Yeah, we're going to have to... Okay. We can't ignore them, particularly because they're raiding, but yeah, that's an annoyance. Well, I'm assuming we'll be able to wipe them out over in the next turn. Let's just take a look at them real quick here and see how strong they are. Yeah, that's easily a defeatable army. So that's going to have... It's a minor annoyance. It's a speed bump, but I don't think it's much more than that. But that battle, and then the invasion of Labaris proper, that is going to be significantly a bigger challenge. It is a walled city. It's going to be a pretty brutal fight, I have a feeling. And she will have built up her army enough to be able to really make that an even tougher fight. But at this point, I think she's just buying for time. Her days are numbered. And all of that, in any case, is going to have to wait until the next episode. So, for those of you still following this campaign, I very much appreciate it. I hope it has been entertaining. I have certainly enjoyed it. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.